Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bruce Konechny. Welcome to my podcast, One Man's Voice. Today is February 24th, 2019. Now, there's two topics I want to talk about. One is about hate crimes going up, and the second one is about this McDonald's customer who flew into a rage because her apple pie wasn't ready, and she wound up getting arrested. I mean, it's $1.06 for an apple pie. Be patient, people. Just be patient. Okay. Yes, they're fast food restaurants, but that doesn't mean that it's ready and you just have to pick it up. You got to let it nuke it. Don't let it sit in the heat 24/7 until you're ready to eat it. So, with this outrage that she displayed, the police came and arrested her. It cost her $1.06 for the pie, which she didn't get back. It's costing her $837 for the fine for the disorderly conduct, and her car was towed from the parking lot. That's anywhere from $75 to $150. Plus, as long as it stays in the lot, they have to pay lot fees or rental fees to keep it in the impoundment lot. So this is $1,000 piece of pie. Shut your mouth, wait 5 minutes, get the pie, and leave. Okay? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But no, she's got to go into an outrage. Why did she go into an outrage? Because she thought she was special? Because she thought that when she wants it, she should get it right then and there, and no one has a right to tell her? This is childish behavior, childish thinking. And this is the attitude that the Democrats, for you Democrats who are listening, have invoked in people. You want something, you should get it right then and there. If you don't, raise havoc, which brings me to my second point. Hate crimes. According to the mainstream news media, CNN, CNBC, ABC, CBS, hate crimes are going up in America, and they truly are. They really are. But you don't hear about the hate crimes on the mainstream other than the fact that they're going up. Why won't they report on the hate crimes as they occur? Simply because it's individuals who support the democratic socialist theory who are attacking conservatives and white people only because they're white. They hate crime because they're white. One kid at Berkeley College held up a sign saying false accusations take away from those that are true. And he was punched in the face and tossed around by this guy who used profanity against him. Did the mainstream media report it? No, they did not. Why? Because it's one of their own. It's a Democrat beating up on somebody who's trying to make light of the fact that Smollett's claim was false, and it hurts those who truly have problems. Because of false claims coming out, people are not getting the attention that they're supposed to. Because people are being shot in the street, it's taken away from that to Smollett's false claims of being assaulted because of his sexual orientation and because he's black, which neither one was the case. They'll report that, but did they report about the white guy in Berkeley who was beat by another white guy? And from my understanding, that happened like 3 or 4 days ago. They have a clear picture of who this guy is, and the Berkeley police can't find him. Really? They know who he is, and they can't find him? In other words, we're going to just keep him off of the radar until everything calms down. Then we're not going to prosecute him because we support beating people. We support the Democrats, support the hate crimes that are going on out there. The hates are against whites, the hates are against conservatives, and the hates are against those who wear the MAGA hats. It's really sad, don't you think? That they're willing to report false claims, but not report. And later, there's witnesses. There's video of this assault. And the guy who was assaulted did not fight back. That reminds me of the 60s When Martin Luther King said, we're going to protest and we're going to march and we're going to bring attention to what we're doing, but do not fight back. Make the other individual look ridiculous. And that's exactly what happened. And the mainstream media doesn't want to show that because it shows that Democrats, it shows that liberals and socialists and communists will use violence to get you to obey, to get you to become fearful so that you line up with them and do what they tell you to do. How pathetic you are if that's the case. Violence is not the answer. Violence has never been the answer. And from a Christian side of the house, the conservative Christians in this country and the religious in this country, they know that violence is not the answer. Yet that's what Democrats are using. Because why? Words aren't working anymore. When it came to Kavanaugh, they humiliated themselves. When it came to Covington, they humiliated themselves, the Covington school kids. And so therefore, they just can't come out and say things. They've got to fight. They got to fight and then put the blame on conservatives. When the video was there showing that nothing happened, that the individual was attacked without provocation, other than the fact that he held up a sign saying false claims are wrong. That's the only reason why he was attacked. That individual should be expelled from school. He should be sent off to jail for assault. And he should learn his lesson. Violence in America is not the answer. If it is, let's open the borders and allow ISIS and MS-13 and these other gangs to come into the country. That's what the Democrats want. Bring them in. That's okay because we accept violence. We agree with violence. We allow violence. Democrats, are you listening? Are you listening? Antifa went against the Republicans. They support the Democrats, and they will use all violence necessary. The KKK is the party, or I should say the Democrats are the party of the KKK. They'll use violence. Anything to stop conservatives and to stop the Democratic Republic and the capitalist system. They will kill you. And you Democrats, you want to support that? Do we know that they'll kill you? Didn't a guy shoot up the softball practice of the Republicans? Have you seen that go against the Democrats? No. They'll kill you if you don't get in line with them. They'll make you fear what you're doing. They'll tell you to shut up and vote the way we tell you. And you'll do it because you're spineless and because just like Michelle Obama said, okay, you don't think for yourselves. You go ask your husbands and your brothers and your bosses. You don't think for yourselves. And as a Democrat male who sits there and watches this violence, learns about the violence, learns about that Antifa is against Republicans, learns about the KKK is against Republicans, and still votes for Democrats, shows your ignorance and your stupidity in what's going on out there. My recommendation is this. Stop listening to mainstream media. Move forward. And in moving forward, listen to a little about what's going on in Fox News. If Fox News reports an attack on a white guy who's trying to stop false complaints, go over to the mainstream media and see if they're reporting it. And you'll find they're not. But they will report the fact that Governor Cuomo signed a bill that will allow the death of a child after it's born. They call that infanticide. It's murder. I read something online about a child, and you say, "Oh well, I'm not even going to attempt it because I forgot what it was all about." So I will tell you this: change your ways, Democrats. Open your eyes to the truth. You don't have to believe me. Open your eyes. Take 5 minutes out a day and look at things as they are. Smollett said that two white guys in Chicago was carrying around a noose, caught him on a back street in the freezing cold, put the noose around his neck, beat on him, but left his wallet, left his sandwich. I mean, come on. Think about it. And then and this is the stupidity of the Democrats. He's a sociopath. He really is. Because then he turned around, the guys who assaulted him, he paid with a check. He makes $60,000 an episode, I think they said. And he paid them $1,500, plus an extra $500 after the deed was done. They have his phone conversations talking to them before the deed happened and after the deed happened. He said he fought back. He didn't fight back. And I mean, it was just, when true, real people go out there and investigate something, not these phonies you see on the mainstream media, because they are phonies. They take their messages from the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party jumped on it. I say that because look at what's been going on ever since Peterson, Missouri. The mainstream media jumped on the fact that this kid was shot in the back with his hands up. The truth is, he was never shot in the back. All the shots were in his front. Nobody asked, why did he stick his head in the window and try to take the policeman's gun? Then we got Kavanaugh. Believe the victim before you even hear the evidence. I believe her. I believe she's right. We should do something against him. And it comes out there were no facts to prove anything against prove the allegations against him. No facts at all. They jumped on it. The Covington kids. They jumped on their racist attitude and their mega racist hats when it came to find out that the racism was pointed at them, not from them. I hope that the lawsuit goes through and they win. And I hope they take that money and they sue every actor and actress who belittled them or threatened them in any way, shape, or form, and along with every other media outlet. The only way we're going to fight back and win is if we say enough is enough, and you better pay for the stupid mistakes that you're making. And then, of course, after Covington, then we have Smollett. I was once asked, is there a conspiracy in this country? And I answered, yes, there is. It is a conspiracy to destroy the American way of life. They looked at me like I was stupid. We don't want to destroy the American way of life. Why do you think that is? It is. When you elect socialists into office who want to do away with the Constitution, who want to create equality in pay. That is about the most ridiculous thing you can get. And AOC is saying that. She's going to pay all of her interns a set amount of money. It's like $52,000 a year. But she only has a limited pot from the federal government to use. So if she does that, the guy who's head of her whole campaign, who normally makes over $100,000, will now only be able to make $80,000. Would you work for $80,000 if you go somewhere else and make $150,000, $160,000? That's what headhunters do. They see you're getting paid what you're supposed to, so they hire you, or they get you hired in a company that's going to pay you more. See, they want equality, but wait a minute, she's making $174,000 a year. Is she giving any of her paycheck away? Is she taking a reduction so her people can have more money? Watch. She's not. That's her money. She went from a bartender making $30,000, $40,000 a year to making $174,000. You really think this socialist who grew up in a democratic republic with a capitalist system is going to give up her paycheck? I don't think so. But she wants you to. She wants to raise your taxes and redistribute the money to people who can't and will not work, according to the Green Deal. Can't and will not. You know, when you put will not work in there, everybody should walk off the job and look at her and say, pay me. They should do that right now. So I'm quitting my job. I don't want to work anymore. I want my money. Pay me. And see what she says. She is about the most ridiculous child, and I have to say that, child that we've ever elected into Congress. So what's happening here? And people in the Democratic Party, leaders who've been in Congress for years, are following her and spouting out the stupidity and the ignorance that she's spouting out. And saying, look, we're united. Nancy Pelosi's going ballistic because she has no control over her. Nor does she have any control over Congress. But yet she thinks she's the one that runs the government. How sad, isn't it? Now, I remember back during the Johnson administration, Johnson, I believe, at one time was the Speaker of the House. It's either that or one of the speakers of the House. I want to say it was Johnson. Because when he became vice president and then he became president, one of the comments that was made, he says, I had more power as Speaker of the House than I do as president. Think about that. I have more power. And we put this mindless old bat who thinks she's doing good for the country by saying open the borders and let anybody come in, by saying we're going to raise taxes, by denying people their rights, by approving abortion after birth. She has no clue what she's doing. And for you Democrats that are out there that follow her, you Democrats who follow the Democratic Party, you're killing yourselves and you're killing the world. You're killing America. AOC needs it. We need redistribution of funds. Yet under our capitalist system and our way of doing things, we have reduced poverty around the world. Does she bring that up? No, she doesn't. One of the things we do is when we give money and we give food for people in other countries, we make sure that it gets there. Under socialism, that's why the Paris Peace Accords and some of these other deals that Trump has walked out on, it's because the people aren't getting the money. Paris Peace Accords, or the Paris Accords, where they're going to create better quality of life by air quality by 0.5% if we give them $30 billion. Think about that. 0.5% over 10 years. While China and India, who are not part of the program, who do not have to support the program, can continue to pollute the air time and time again. AOC, why aren't you over there fighting against pollution? Why aren't you over there fighting against inequality? Why aren't you over there fighting against equal pay or fighting for equal pay? Because they don't get paid equally over there. The communism is rooted, and think about it, with a capitalist system. If she was intelligent in any way, shape, or form, she would sit there and read Marxism. Under Marxism, they talk about how the reason for communism to fail is for lack of capitalism. And yet, because she wasn't born then, I'll tell this little girl that in my time period, the Russians attacked our capitalist system time again, saying it's a bad system, it's a bad system, it's a bad system. And in the 1980s, the wall was torn down by capitalists, and Germany reunited as a nation because Russia, that doesn't have capitalism, ran out of money and could not afford to keep that wall up. This little girl needs to really go to school and learn something because her economic studies are a joke. Her international studies are a joke. Her dreams of doing things are a joke because she does not understand. That's where economics comes in. The ultimate cost. Dianne Feinstein was hollered at, not hollered at, but she hollered at children who sat there and said, "You need to support the Green New Deal." And she said, "Don't tell me what I need to do. I'm the one that was elected into office." She's telling this to maybe elementary school kids. Don't tell me what to do. I've been elected into office. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, she lied in Kavanaugh. She manipulated his victim, if you want to call it a victim, call her a victim. She has no clue what she's doing. That's another one that wants socialism because socialism is in California, and look what it's doing in California. Cortez or AOC, I don't even want to mention her name. AOC wants high-speed rails. 10 years ago, California voted for a high-speed rail from Los Angeles to San Francisco. It's still not completed. It was supposed to cost $10 billion. It's now costing $64 billion. And the individual, the governor out there said, no more. We're not doing it. It's a waste of money. So they wasted all of that money to get something that wasn't ready. And she thinks she's going to build high-speed rails throughout this country in less than 12 years. Otherwise, we're gonna die. See the fear? In 12 years, people will be dying like World War II. Really? Fear tactics. That's all they know. Now, for you people, Democrats who are in New York City, look her office up. Call her office and talk to her. Tell her to get off her stupidity train and get on an intelligent train. You can't do it. You know why? She doesn't have an office in her district. She hasn't hired anybody to work in her district. Why not? But she's making $174,000, and she nixed the Amazon deal costing billions of dollars to the city and to the state. Why? Selfish, self-centered socialists don't care about the people. Understand that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bruce Konechny in One Man's Voice. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. But get off your lazy couch and investigate it yourself and find out if I'm right or wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me how I'm wrong. Send me a message on my Facebook page. I'll be more than delighted to listen. Take care. God bless, and have yourself a great, great day.